Hey, what's happening, y'all? To start off this video, I have to say condolences, rest in peace to Tito Garcia, and my condolences goes out to him and his family, to his family and friends. Um, it's unfortunate that that 2017 had to start off with it, pretty badly with news like this that came unexpected, and. Tito was he was a significant player in the YTBC or even the LDBC by that matter, and yes, he did ruffle a lot of some of the guys' feathers and whatnot, and he made some enemies in the process while on his platform. But at the same time, you have to respect his neutrality when it comes to situations, and when it came to the sport of boxing. And we had interacted from time to time. I never met him in person. I interacted with him a few times on, quite a few times. Well, not a few times, but significantly, I should say. And sometimes we had I know we had a little debate about who won between Leonard versus Hagler, and I suggested that Leonard won the fight. And even though it was a close fight, I saw that Leonard winning it, and he felt that Hagler won the fight, and I felt that Hagler got robbed, as in our last conversation we had. But that was a while ago, and unfortunately, yeah, to get this news, it is devastating, and it is, at the same time, it's very shocking, So again, rest in peace to you, Tito, and my heart and condolences goes out to you and your family and friends. So yeah, you'll be definitely greatly be missed, man. So on to some boxing news here. Most of you are probably not made aware that Badou Jack has officially vacated his WBC 168-pound title and is moving up to light heavyweight. This news hasn't come to no surprise, given the fact that Jack has struggled to make weight for 168 in his last two fights, and he will blow up close to like 184, 185 going into fights. So he did look very, very big as as super middleweight going in. So this news has come to no surprise, whatnot. So some people had argued about, well, if Badou Jack is claiming that he struggled to make 168, then how in the hell was he able to perform at a high level against guys like Lucien Boutte and James DeGale? Well, I don't really, all I can say is that we can only speculate at that point. It is a good point to bring up, because usually when guys are drained, their performance do get affected to some degree. That is true. But needless to say, you have to take some exceptions. There's fighters like Jerome McClellan, for example, when he fought at middleweight. He was draining himself to make middleweight weight, and he would perform very well. He would go in there and he'll blast guys out of there real quickly. And, well, some people will say that, well, the difference is McClellan would get guys out very quickly, rather than Jack. He'll fight at a certain pace for longer rounds. So that's a totally different story. But at the same time, but the point is, if you're drained, then even if if you're like a Gerald McClellan, your knockout power will take to some effect, given the fact that you're drained. So, again, this is not saying that Badou Jack was taking anything. I'm not saying that. Some people are suggesting that, but you have to look at another perspective by saying, well, he has been randomly tested by VADA. He is partaking in the clean boxing program, so he has passed every test. So, I mean, at this point, we don't know anything. That's just only speculation. But again, it is somewhat of a fair point to bring up that, how was he able to perform that way if he claims he was drained? But, it is what it is. Like I said, we can only speculate. He's passed every test through VADA. He's partaken in every measure in the clean boxing program. So, yeah, that's the end of it. Until something else comes up, then we'll go ahead and make an assessment from there. So, anyhow, on to the fact that he is moving up to 175. He did make a claim that he will be taking a shot at Adonis Stevenson, so he wants to go after Adonis Stevenson for that title. I definitely would make it a intriguing fight. We know Stevenson got a fight coming up against Who's Stevenson fighting next? Damn, who's he fighting? I know he's not fighting Lidia Alvarez. I think he is fighting Lidia Alvarez, right? Or Lidia Alvarez is fighting Lucien Boutte. I think it's. Let me take a look here. Who's Stevenson fighting next? I mean, somebody can help me out in the comment section. Please let me know below. But anyways, if I take a look at this fight here, if Badou Jack does go up and he makes a play against Adonis Stevenson, I will have to favor Stevenson in that fight because Stevenson does have an incredible long reach and he does have mobility and he does move around very well in the ring for his size. But the only thing about Stevenson's Achilles heels is that he always relies on that left hand, and he keeps his hands extremely low. So, I mean, if you dig him to the body, he will fatigue. So that's the thing about Badou Jack. He's a very good body puncher, and he can fight very well on the inside. So he could do that. He could somewhat neutralize Stevenson that way. But again, Stevenson himself is a very good inside fighter. We've seen how well he did against Thomas Williams Jr. So, but before that fight, Stevenson was an inside fighter until he relied more on his distance, given the fact that he realized that he had a very, very long reach. And of course, credit to Manuel Stewart for helping him adapt to that type of style of fighting in the distance. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that would definitely be an interesting matchup. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on that and see who you think will be able to win that fight. But yeah, I don't think Stevenson, going back to his opponent, I don't think he has an opponent right now. But again, let me know in the comment section below, guys, because I don't know. I thought he had a fight coming up, but I could be wrong here. I could have sworn he had a fight, but just let me know. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, definitely be a good fight, intriguing fight. I would love to see that fight, whatnot, because definitely Badou Jack could bring some new life into the light heavyweight division, whatnot. Now, how do you see him do well against guys like Andre Ward? And you know, I already said in my previous video that the reason why his promoter Floyd Mayweather was under the name of Andre Ward, because I think he's trying to position Jack to get that fight with Ward. They need that title shot. So we'll see how this plays out. Now, as far as Erislandy Lara is concerned, I wanted to talk about this for the last few weeks now, or the last few days now, but you know, unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity due to the fact that I've been very busy as of late. Now, on Erislandy Lara knocked out a way over the hill, not so great Yuri Foreman, okay? And to be honest with you guys, I like Erislandy Lara, but I'm not giving him credit for that win because, first of all, this is the third opponent out of the third of the last 5 opponents that Erislandy Lara has fought that had no business being in the ring with him whatsoever. First, Delvin Rodriguez, who Miguel Cotto destroyed, was definitely didn't even belong in that ring with him. Who was the other guy? Young Zavik, yeah, definitely did not deserve to be in the ring with Erislandy Lara. And of course, Yuri Foreman. So this is the third of the last 5 opponents that Erislandy Lara has been in the ring with him that was subpar, didn't have no business fighting him, you know? So I know Lara's been making his call-outs and all that, but I think it's him and his team. And I've said this before, too. I think Lara is being avoided by most fighters, you know, and Golovkin and his team are being very, very dismissive of him, you know, which is true. Okay, you know, the Golovkin fans can say that they can dismiss Lara if they want to. That's a fact. But I think at the same time, Lara and his team really going to have to understand that fighting the young Zaviks, the Delvin Rodriguez, and the Yuri Formans of the world is not going to cut it. So they're going to have to really step their game up and go after some other fights. If you can't get Golovkin, fine, go after some other names. There's other names there. I know they've called out recently. He called out Charlo, and he wanted Demetrius Andre as well. So definitely, I see if Demetrius Andre would take a fight like that, because you know Andre has been, you know, he's been very stagnant with his career as of late. He hasn't really been making some moves. He's made, you know, bad business decisions and whatnot. So at this point, Andrade looks like, you know, based off his recent business decisions, I mean his past business decisions, whatnot, and playing around with Charlo when he had a WBO title shot, pulled out of the fight like that, you know, pull the rug underneath his feet like that. That kind of gets you blackballed in a way. That kind of gets you frozen out of a weight class. So yeah, but the one thing I have to point out about Lara is that he looked very big going into that fight against Yuri Foreman. I mean, the size difference. I mean, Jesus Christ, he looked like a goddamn I mean, he looked too big to be competing at 154. To be honest with you, I think that Lara need to go up. He could be. I think he can make a play at middleweight. I think he should go up to middleweight. But at the same time, it's like if you look at the 154 division, they're all ran by Al Heyman boys. So it's kind of like, well, Al Heyman now has said that he is pressing his fighters to be fighting each other now, going, to engage in unification bouts. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see how what Lara's next move is. But at the same time, I stand by my statements. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are about Badou Jack's recent move to light heavyweight, and what you think about Erislandy Lara, what his next move should be. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm out.